How are you? How are you? This is Odessa, Womb Wellness Mentor. I am here this evening on Instagram and on YouTube. And I wanted to come and talk with you a little bit more. For those of you who are familiar with my work, I am a women's wellness mentor, and I am presently helping women over the age of 35 to prepare their bodies to conceive in the next 12 months with my 12-week fertility secrets and womb wisdom program. Now, this evening, I wanted to come through and have that conversation with you, just to kind of move deeper into the last video, the last conversation that we were having. But today I wanted to talk with you about why your body is not the problem. Your mindset is the problem. Your body is not the problem. Your mindset is the problem. And once again, for those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Odessa, and I'm a womb wellness mentor, and I help women to heal their wombs and get pregnant in the next 12 months. So the body is amazing. And while there are many things that, give thanks for this love, while there are many things that we are not able to get it to do, there are many things that it can do, right? We live in a paradigm right now where the paradigm is actually shifting, where when we were told to believe that what you saw is what you saw, right? And what is what is, right? That's what science is. If you can't prove it, it's not true. And if it hasn't been proven, it's not true. So pretty much. And so if the body is unable to do it, or the body has shown that itself, oh, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. The body will show that it's giving signs of something, of an illness or a disruption, or, an insufficiency. We're taught to just leave everything as is, right? Like you're just kind of, nothing more can happen. But the body is miraculous, right? And even if you're over the age of 35, naysayers, don't matter, right? Because it is possible to conceive amidst the naysayers, amidst whatever other people are telling you, amidst whatever things you may or may not be believing right now, knowing that, the body is amazing. The body is capable of regenerating. The body is capable of, like taking from Peter to pay Paul. Like that's what it does, So if you're in the process of trying to do something and you're doing that work, know that you do have that capability. And so, some of the tangible steps that you need to start doing right now is understand that you need to stop being an enemy towards your body. And this goes across the board for men and for women, people in general, right? We tend to be more of an enemy towards our bodies than we are a friend, through our deeds, through our thoughts, through our actions, and through our feelings. We betray ourselves often. Right? We betray ourselves by, these limiting thoughts that we have about what we can and cannot do. We reinforce them, right? We reinforce them with our actions, right? That will confirm the thought or the feeling that we're having. We will allow, the influence of other people to maintain the paradigm of whatever it is that we're thinking about, whatever it is that, we're carrying with us, to reinforce that belief, that crystallized belief that we're holding on to, for perpetuity until we choose to change it, right? So stop being an enemy to your body, right? Because your body is not the problem. Your mindset is the problem, and your actions are the problem, right? When things don't go your way, how do you contribute to your actions or inactions? How do you contribute to the situation, especially when things aren't going your way, right? Oftentimes you're going to beat yourself up. Thank you for that love. You're going to beat yourself up. You're going to tell yourself, all of the things. You're going to revert back to the worst of the worst. If you do not have the mindset, right? If you are part of a large majority of people who do not have the mindset and who have not gone through the process, who have not worked with, people to unhash and unravel the knotted issues that still live in your cells and in your tissues, in your life, in your nervous system, embedded within you, right? So when things don't go your way, how are you responding? Right? When things don't go your way, what are you doing? If you have certain trauma responses and trauma triggers, and if you're not aware of that, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go back to your regular activities, right? It could be, I don't know what it is. I don't know what your regular activity is. It could be overindulging in substances. It could be eating too much. It could be bad talking yourself. It could be picking your skin. It could be biting your nails. It could be grinding your teeth, right? Your actions are going to support your physical body, or they're not going to support your physical body. And we have to remember that, because the body has a wisdom of its own. The body, if you take away the intellect, the body has a wisdom of its own. And I was recently going over the syllabus for the program as I'm preparing for this next round, as we start in March. And one of the topics that I was preparing for students is body wisdom and anatomy. I think this is how the school should be teaching right now: body wisdom and anatomy, because there's how the body is structured, the axis, the atlas, the spinal cord, the neck, the eyes, the ocular motor, the nerves, everything of nature. But then there's the spirit, there's a wisdom of it. There's a wisdom that comes with it. So knowing that this wisdom is there and it can function outside, ça peut fonctionner hors de notre intellect. It can function outside of our intellect, our mind. And once you know that, right, then it comes back down to the same thing. The body is not to be blamed. It is your mind set, right? Because if your body is telling you that it needs this and it wants this, something so simple as drinking water. How often, right, will your body ask you for what? Literal, can I get a glass? And you'll be like, I'm gonna eat some food, or I'm gonna drink something else, or not even drink, but you'll go and do something else against what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So keeping all of these things in mind, right? What is your response? Right? Really starting to pay attention when things don't go your way. What is the response? What are your natural tendencies? What are you doing to botch your situation or to make it better? Okay. Matter, density, patterns, and habits, they all come together. They all bring themselves together, right? You've got the matter, that's who we are. This is our density, right? This is what we're made of. And within this, you have the elemental makeup. You have fire, air, water, earth. And within those, you have pros and cons. Earth, you might be more stubborn. Air, you might think a lot. Fire, you might have a lot of energy. Water, you're very emotional. And the way that the elements are made up in your physical body are also how they're made up in your character, right? And how you move in and out of patterns, right? How you interface with habits and cycles in your life, right? And so, what are you doing? What kind of cycles and habits and patterns are you putting yourself through? And if you have been doing these things for years, you have to know that it's 1 year of doing it, 2 years of doing it, 3 years of doing it compact, 4 years of doing it, 5 years of doing it, 6 years of doing it compact. So whereas, it might look like it's this tall of patterns and habits that you've been doing it, but you've been doing it for this amount of years, and the heaviness of it has just made it more and more look like it's down here, but it's very, very thick. And so you're working against that, right? These present us with possibilities to lean towards negative aspects, negative habits, complacency, and comfort. Or they can, give us the fire that we need to be able to move, and make the changes, know that we're coming up against a difficulty, but make those changes. So the body has the animation of, the spirit, The spirit is what animates the body. The spirit moves the blood. The spirit pumps the blood. The energy of the spirit pumps the blood through the body, and this is what animates it. When you understand how all of this is moving through you, then you're understanding that, okay, there's the regular anatomical movement, there's the regular functioning of everything that's happening. The arterial flow is going to leave the left side of the heart and flow through the body, and providing that there are no obstructions, the venous flow will send the information right back up. The body's going to function, right? The pituitary gland is going to send, the anterior pituitary gland is going to send the messages to the thyroid, to the other glands. The hormones are going to be released unless something has happened. What could happen? Maybe you ate something that made you so sick that it threw your gut flora off, right? It threw your stomach off so much that it affected the hormones that go to your brain, that come out of the glands in your brain. This kind of stuff happens. Maybe the trauma that you experienced as a child, right, that's creating the anxiety that you feel and experience, could be what's stopping you from menstruating regularly, because you're traumatized by what you may have seen or what you may have experienced, or maybe your relationship to your mother is not that great, and so this can literally reflect itself in how your menstrual cycle shows up. It isn't your physical body that is the issue, it is your mindset, right? Because if on top of that, if you're aware of this and you know that you can move things around and you can change things around, you can do this, right? Using the proper herbs, using the proper nutrition, using the right mindset. Because the other piece is, I can give you all of the information. Anyone can give you all of the information. But if you don't use it, if you don't apply it, and if you don't keep consistent with it, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. That's just what it is, okay? So how do you take that step? How do we take that step towards mindset shifting, towards, recognizing that we have way more control over the physical body? Observe, first of all, how you're speaking to yourself. Observe how you're speaking to yourself. Observe how you're treating yourself. What are you saying? What are the common words and phrases that you're using? When you hear people talk about, pregnancy, when you hear people talking about fertility, when you hear people talking about age, when you hear people talking about what they expect women to do or to be, or anything of that nature, what is your immediate response? Observe your thinking around your body. Observe your thinking around the functioning of your reproductive system, and what you've been taught. Who taught you? Whose words are you saying in your head, right? So the next piece would be open to new ways of loving and caring for yourself. Do it. Especially if you're over the age of 30, especially if you're an older woman, right? An older person, and you want to conceive, you have to make yourself a priority. You have to start putting in your head that now the way that I'm nourishing and caring for myself needs to be a priority. Because if you're not doing this, then you're really not doing anything for yourself. And the issue is not your body, right? Because your body is asking for things. Your body is asking for the nourishment, it's asking for the nurturing, it's asking for the self-care, it's asking for the protection, it's asking for the exercise, it's asking for the information. And you're deciding that you want to stay on the bed and you want to watch Netflix and finish eating off the bag of Cheetos and the coconut water that you had because you just have the time to do that. You don't want to do what you have to do, right? This is the truth that some people are living right now, right? So what else do you need to be doing to take that step? Paying attention to how you're treating yourself, loving, nurturing, caring thoughts, or are you giving yourself hard, callous, demeaning and mean, repetitive states of being? Is that what you're feeding yourself, right? Another thing is the actual act of taking care of your body, right? how often will you say to yourself, okay, now this is the time for me to do this. It's time for me to engage in this piece right now. And I need to do it, and I need to maintain it. We don't do that. You know, example, like where I live right now, I'm in Toronto, Canada, and it's very, very cold outside. And one of the first things that I always see women doing is they're trying to look cute when they go outside, right? You're putting on, you know, like the short shoes, and like you're wearing your shoes, and you might have on your pants that leave your ankles exposed. That is the worst thing that you can do for a woman who is menstruating, who has cycles. Like, that's the worst thing that you can do. Why? Because your ankles are connected directly to your uterus, to your womb, based on reflexology points, based on traditional Chinese medicine, based on Ayurveda, based on your nerves, the way that they run through your body. So if you are not taking care of yourself, like you're trying to be cute, you want to go outside in the wintertime, and you know it's cold, and, and you want to be cute, you know what I mean? And so you're showing off your ankles because you have these really cute shoes and you like the way it looks, but in the end you have way more, you know, issues in your womb. Now you have cold. You've allowed cold to come into your body, right? And it's come up into your body, it's come up into your womb, and now you have cramps, and now you have, you know, all these extra issues, you have all these clots, and you don't know what's happening because you're not taking care of yourself. Your body didn't do it to you. It wasn't your body that did it to you. It was the fact that you made the conscious decision. You knew that by going outside, you potentially could get sick. It's cold. It's cold. When you go up north, further up north, the Native Americans, the Inuits, like the Inuk people, like they don't play. They're not going outside to look cute. You know what I mean? Like I remember being in New York once, and this pastor came on the train, and he was like, "It's your duty to cover your booty," right? It's the truth, like, especially if you have the means to do so. You have the means to do so, but you're going outside looking cute, and then you end up being sick, or you throw your whole system off, and you don't know what's going on. You got to take care of yourself. Yep, I never thought that. And I'm certified in reflexology now. That's right. Because they don't teach you those pieces, though, right? These are nuances. On top of that, new biz body. My grandmother used to speak about this all the time. My grandmother, my mother, my aunties, you know, when you go outside, or, you know, when you don't walk barefoot on the ground because you're going to have pain, right? And I used to be like, okay, whatever. And lo and behold, I would be filled with pain, cramps, all of the everythings, you know. And I can even go even further to say that for myself specifically, one of the biggest pieces, we're talking about the body and signs and reflexology, and just also that, you know, like listening to, allowing the body to lead the mind right into the direction. Whenever my menstrual cycle was coming, the reflexology points on my inner ankle would start to throb. And whenever I was about to birth my children, the whole meridian and the nerve would just start to throb, right? So this is how I knew for a fact that these were connecting, right? So so making sure that you are, you know, actively protecting your physical body and not putting yourself at risk. So making sure that, you know, all of your orifices, yes, I'm with you, yes, the uterus, ashe. So making sure your orifices are covered, making sure your extremities are covered, you know, making sure that you're protecting yourself. We're egg carriers. Y'all know when you go to the store and you buy eggs, you are not going to be flinging that bag all over the place. Okay. You don't fling the bag all over the place. And so I want you to start thinking about this, because it's not your body that's the problem. Just because you have arrived at a certain age, yes, you may have more difficulties. You may have more difficulties conceiving, right? You may have more obstacles to conceive based off of your life experience, based off of where you are, based off of conditions, what have you, right? It's still important for you to know, I am going to repeat it over and over again. The body is miraculous, and it is possible. It is possible, but you have to put yourself into that mindset of knowing that it is not just about your body, it is about yourself, and knowing that the body is miraculous, and knowing that your mind has the ability to elevate you and move you into a space of being and having, right? And not just visually, but embodying that within yourself. right? So all of these are things that are really important to consider as you're moving forward. So are you keeping warm? Are you paying attention to your thoughts? Are you caring for yourself? Have you put yourself as a priority? Are you answering the needs of your body? Because your body is not the problem. Your mindset is, and the actions behind your mindset are what the problems are. Okay. So another piece I wanted to say in terms of, how do you take these steps? Start paying attention when we're talking about fertility. We're talking about womb wisdom. Listen to the wives' tales. It is so counterintuitive. All these little things that you hear in the background of who used to say what and who auntie said what and grandmother said what, and you hear the midwives' tales, the wives' tales. They're whispers in the echoes, the chambers of time for a reason. Just start paying attention to them. Does it resonate with you? Thank you for that, love. Does it resonate with you? Is there anything in here that I can hear? Because we have to remember women's wellness, right? Women's health has been removed from women and was taken and forced and taken into the hands of men. And so a lot of what is for us got suppressed and was kind of, passed through the secret tunnels, right? So that we can be able to maintain this. So please keep this in mind, okay? Now, other steps that it's important to implement, are just like that whole awareness and planning in advance. What do you need to do for yourself to make sure that you do not feel compromised in whatever it is that you're doing? Because you have to make sure that you're in top mind frame to be able to achieve the results that you're looking for, right? So like increasing circulation to your body, right? Not just actual physical exercises like sweating it out, but there are many other ways to do this. So keeping your mind right, so getting that circulation going, keeping your mind right, awareness exercises, planning things in advance, your food, your traveling, your scheduling, your weather, like really just making sure that you can create as much space and ease around you as possible. That's what the goal is, right? So make sure that you keep yourself warm, care for your body, more awareness for your thoughts and the actions that go behind how you treat yourself based on yourself and based off of what society is telling you, right? So that's really what I wanted to share with you all today, right? Because it isn't just about like what your physical body can do and the limitations that other people put on it, but it's about what you believe you are able to do and what actually is, because the body is miraculous. This life is actually miraculous. And with the right tools, right, with the right combination of herbs and medicine and guidance and exercises and all of the nature, you can achieve your goals. You can achieve your goals. And so if this is something that you are very much interested in doing for this year, I want you to please feel free to connect with me via DM. You can come into my DMs. You can just ask me questions about my 12-week program. You can book a next step call and we can make sure and just have that conversation. If you found anything in this video to be helpful, please make sure and just double tap below. Let me know that you got something and you stayed to the end. So that's really all I wanted to say for today. I will let you all go with that. And please remember to be kind and gentle to yourself at all times. Give yourself the utmost respect and love as you possibly can, because you deserve it, right? No one else more than you. No one else ahead of you. You deserve it first. That way you can fill your cup up and you can give from your overflow. Okay? Thank you as well, Queen, for those loving hearts that you've shared with me and your commentary. I really appreciate it. And so that's it for this evening, you all. It's a rather late broadcast live. I'm going to go. I'm going to do my thing. And I will see you all again soon. And so I wish you a good night, a good evening, a good afternoon, and a good morning, wherever you are and whatever time you will watch this video. Take care and be well.